friend. Hi, back to you. My big old camera is lower than my other camera. Shout out to all of the replay viewers. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me share this because I forgot. Sorry, y'all. I forgot to share on my community tab. So let me jump on my YouTube channel on my computer really, really quick and share it on my community tab because I completely forgot to do it. It's time to heal. Posted. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are tuning in from. So my name is Renisha. I am. Thank you for the follow. I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look successful on the outside, but on the inside, they're dealing with all of these internal battles. Okay, so generational trauma. It happens every time on Big O. Generational trauma is like an invisible script that runs through your family line, and if you don't heal it, you will repeat it. This is what we're talking about today. All right. So just think about it. Have you ever caught yourself doing something or saying something, and then you thought in your mind, I'm just like my mother. This feels like my father. This feels like my grandparents, my aunties, whatever. Okay. If that is you, drop your favorite emoji in the chat. What's up, Tina? Welcome in. All right, so today we're going to be talking about breaking generational trauma and healing the patterns that run in families. Okay, you don't have to carry what your family didn't heal. So we're going to jump right in. What is generational trauma? For those of you taking notes, and I hope you're taking notes unless you're driving or at work or something, and you're just going to catch the replay. I'm going to need you to be taking notes. All of this free content, this good free content, I'm going to need you to be taking a note, okay? So generational trauma is unresolved pain that gets passed down like an inheritance, right? Except it's not money. It's not land. It's not any of this stuff. It's patterns, beliefs, and even nervous system responses. Some of you know, in your family, on your mom or your dad's side, things like anxiety runs through the family. Back in the day, they used to call it nervous breakdowns or nervous problems. That's what they call it. And you see where it runs through the family. Sometimes it's the women, sometimes it's men. Baby, that is generational trauma being passed on. Okay, from generation to generation. It's not about what happened to you, it's about what happens. Trauma is not just what happened to you, but it's about what happened before you. Okay, so it's not just what happened to you, but what happened before you. A lot of you call yourself the generational curse breaker. I'm the one in the family that's breaking all the curses. That is amazing. But do you know how much? Because it is hard being the generational curse breaker of your family. And I'll just keep it at that. Okay. Big O, is hard for me to see y'all comments, but it is hard. It is Emily, thank you. Draining, baby girl. Okay. So let me give you some examples of generational trauma. You have some families where instead of communicating, they just silence you. So there's all these family secrets. Hey, girl, hey, all of this unspoken pain. They tell you, we don't talk about that here. We don't talk about it in this family. Just be quiet. So they silence you. Then you have some families, you see cycles of poverty. You see cycles of addiction or cycles of abuse. Tina said, yeah, cycles of abuse. Okay. So you see the same struggles, and y'all can front if y'all want to. It's not going to work. Everybody has this in their family. Okay. The same struggles that recycle generation after generation. Mama dealt with this. Grandparents dealt with that. Great grandparents dealt with this. Uncles and aunties, you see it in every family, okay? Then there are some, like I was talking about a little while ago, the emotional inheritance, where you see anxiety is being passed down from generation to generation. Fear, some people deal with fear. Rejection is something that some people pass down through generations, or even shame, okay? And if nobody names it, you still feel it, you still deal with it. And you're like, where did this come from? Some of this stuff is inherited. Let me tell you, I don't know if you all know who Afnan Khalifa is, but when I tell you, Afnan released a reel this morning, and I was like, this is perfect for what I'm talking about today. So I pulled up her reel, and I had to dictate it. So I was rewinding it back just over and over so I could share it with you all. Okay, these are not my words. This is from Afnan. Okay, but Afnan hit the head on it. She hit the nail on the head with this one. I was like, girl, you better free the people. Listen at what Afnan said this morning. So she was talking about how our mothers are superheroes, right? And she said a lot of them, a lot of your mothers, they worked themselves to the bone. They were raising the kids, they were cooking, they were cleaning, working jobs, and a lot of them stayed in marriages that drained them because they were always taught that good women hold it all together. They just hold it all together. Thank you, Big O. They just hold it all together. Some of them were taught to just shut up and submit. It didn't matter what was going on. You just be quiet. Just submit. Just yield to the abuse. I don't know what that means. Sorry, y'all. All right. So she said, we grew up thinking that this was normal. Okay. We thought the exhaustion, the self-sacrifice, we thought that stuff was normal. And then we were taught that love and strength, we thought exhaustion and self-sacrifice was normal, and it was a sign of love and strength. But some of our mothers, and some of you, you know it's the truth, some of our mothers, they never got to live their own lives. They never got to live their own lives. They gave all of their energy, and some of you doing the same thing. They gave all of their energy to everybody else until there was nothing left for themselves. That is so sad. That's a sad state to live in, okay? So that's why many of them are resentful now. They're tired, they're unfulfilled, even if they don't admit it. Okay, Afnan said, we honor them, but we are not going to repeat their lives. Hello, again, this is not my content, this specific thing I'm sharing now. Afnan released this reel this morning, and it went so perfect with what we are talking about, generational trauma. She said the point of their struggle, it wasn't for us to copy it, it was for us to break it. Hello. Doing everything doesn't make you strong, it makes you empty. Blink, blink, blink. Quick scripture, Exodus 20:5 talks about visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. Okay, so yeah, trauma can flow from generation to generation, but God's mercy is always going to override trauma. God's mercy is always going to override the curses. Exodus 20, verse 6. I need you all to write this line down. Tina, listen. I need you all to write down what I'm about to say. Thank you, Andre, for the hearts. Write down this line. I may have inherited pain, but I don't have to live in it. Write that down. Even if you have to come back and watch the replay, write that down. I may have inherited pain, but I don't have to live in it. Okay, if you're just joining, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look successful on the outside, but secretly they're feeling the weight. They're carrying the weight of the family cycles, unhealed trauma, and emotional exhaustion. Today, we're talking about generational trauma and the patterns that run in your family. Okay, write that down. You may have inherited pain, but you don't have to live in it. Let's talk about how patterns run in families. So there are different patterns that run in families. You have behavioral patterns. This is the yelling. I know some of you have met people that are just naturally loud, okay? Just naturally loud. It's like, why are you screaming? Why are you yelling? And they're like, oh, my whole family is like this. And you don't believe it until they invite you to a family gathering. And you notice that you walk in and everybody loud. It just sounds like chaos. And it's like, I couldn't function like this. Okay. That's a generational pattern. That's trauma passed down. So it could be yelling. It could be people pleasing. Okay. It could be perfectionism. Sorry. I hit my mic. These behaviors are learned. You are not born with this. These are learned behaviors. Okay. Then there are emotional patterns like anger. They just be mad. You just mad, going off, snapping, wanting to fight, cuss, kick, and for no reason. Y'all just mad. That's an emotional pattern. Some of them deal with rejection, like I said earlier, even fear, just scary, fear, panic attacks, things like that. And you see it's being passed down through the family. You have to understand that kids are going to absorb what you do not heal. So if you just want to ignore it, you passing it on to your kids. And then there are relational patterns that run through family. This would look like toxic marriages. Yeah, y'all get married, but you're not happy, just toxic and living like that. And your parents lived like that, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, everybody just married and unhappy. Some of y'all married unhappy, so you decide to cheat instead of leaving. Okay. So you have the toxic marriages, absent fathers or mothers. I work with DSS, so it's not just the daddy, but absent fathers or mothers, or even controlling mothers. You'll see the cycles of dysfunctioning. You'll see the cycles of dysfunction repeating itself. Thank you for hitting the like button and giving me the hearts on YouTube. Thank you, y'all. Write this down. Here's another line. I want you to write it down. Write this down. What you don't heal, you hand down. Write it down. Listen, Emily. What you don't heal, you hand down. I need y'all to write this stuff down because I want you to see this. Okay? So, an illustration, you could have a grandmother, right? The grandmother suppressed her voice. She's one of those ones that was taught, just submit, keep your mouth shut, let God handle it. Don't express how you feel. This is how your grandma was taught. So then your mother, because your grandma was taught to never express herself, now your mother becomes a people pleaser. She's just a yes woman. She just says yes to everything. She saw her mama whenever she disagreed, she didn't say anything. She just submitted. So now your mama is a people pleaser. Then this thing passed right on down to you. Now you're in the boardroom and you're burnt out because you don't know how to say no. You're taking on all these projects. You're doing all the things, about to unalive yourself because you don't know how to say no. And you don't even realize this was passed down. It may look different, but it has the same root. It's just showing up in a different way. Okay. So let me reset the room really quick. If you're just joining, my name is Renisha. I am an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look polished on the outside, but secretly they have all these battles. They have all of these battles that they're fighting, okay, internally. They're battling these patterns, these cycles, and they don't know how to break them. So right now we're talking about how trauma runs in families. Some of you, poor thing, you ain't even do nothing. You was just born. You ain't even do nothing. You were born. Your mama or your daddy, they didn't heal. They didn't break the curse. So now the trauma was passed on to you. Okay? Remember, what you don't heal, you're going to hand down. Let's talk about the cost of carrying generational trauma. I am doing good on time today. Let's talk about the cost of carrying generational trauma, because it's going to cost you. Number one, you're going to lose years, wasting potential. Let me tell you something. I do not have a lot of regrets in life. I try to live with no regrets. I really don't have a lot of regrets. Honestly, when that question comes up, I say the same thing all the time. My main regret, pretty much almost my only regret, is the fact that I didn't go into the Air Force when I graduated high school. That's like my only regret. But let me tell you something. We're talking about the cost of carrying generational trauma, lost years, and wasted potential. When I sit and I think about all of the years where I suppressed trauma and I put up with people, places, and things, relationships that were beneath me, people that didn't even deserve to have access with me, behaviors. When I think about all the stuff I put up with because I was suppressing my own trauma and I was showing up as my unhealed self, I'm like, man, if I knew then what I know now, it would have been a completely different story. It would have never happened that way. Okay? So you don't want to lose any more time. You can't get time back. I don't know what y'all think. No, you can't go back. You can't. There's no button. You can. This is a remote. There's no button on here that you can push and go back 20 years, 5 years, whenever that trauma happened. Okay? So you're going to have to deal with it. Also, you're going to deal with cycles of brokenness in relationships, parenting, and leadership. Tina, listen, you have to deal with it. Okay? So if you continue to carry it, you're going to have cycles of brokenness in your relationships, in your parenting, your own parenting, and in leadership. Okay? And I know there's no perfect parents. There's no perfect leaders. There's no perfect relationship. I get it. Y'all don't even have to drop it in the comments. I get it. But when you're constantly showing up as your unhealed self, that's going to bleed off into all parts, all areas of your life. Period. I don't care how bad you want to fake the funk. It's going to bleed over into all portions of your life. Okay? So a woman who overworks, this is just an example, a woman who overworks to prove she's not like her mother, she's going to still end up repeating that same toxic cycle if she doesn't deal with it. Let me tell y'all something. Years ago, I had a superintendent I was going to church with, kept asking me, Renisha, I want you to come teach for me. I need you to come teach for me. I need you at my school. Me, I'm nobody's teacher. I don't want to teach. The kids going to have me in jail. Nope, I don't want to teach. Before that, people would talk to me about teaching. Even before that, I've gotten prophetic words. God said you're supposed to do these classes and courses, and this is how He's going to sustain you. I didn't want to hear none of that. You know why? Because there was still some unhealed trauma related to my mother. My mother was a teacher. So in my mind, I'm like, y'all, they don't know what I'm dealing with. They don't know the stuff that my mother takes me through. They don't know my mother is verbally abusive, verbally and emotionally abusive. So in my mind, all I heard was, you're just like your mother. You're just like your mother. That's all I was hearing when these people was begging me to teach. You're just like your mother. Okay. So you have to deal with this stuff. Have to understand. I need you to understand, carrying your family's trauma, this is optional. That's optional. But the cost of keeping it is going to be generational. If you don't want to deal with it, you're going to pass it on. You're talking about a will, baby, you're passing on. How sad would it be for your children, your grandchildren, to get in a place mentally where they're so low that they want to unalive themselves? And it's because of trauma that you didn't deal with. I don't think you all really understand. Thank you for the follow on, Big O. I don't think you all really understand how deep this stuff goes. I'm really trying my best to break up my inner healing content and my deliverance and stuff, all that, the spiritual content. I'm really trying to separate it. But I don't think you all realize how deep this stuff runs, okay? Sorry, y'all. I don't think you all realize how deep this stuff runs. You need to deal with your demons. Deal with them. Deal with them. You all know I talk about how the enemy always comes back to collect. You're doing stuff now, and you think that there is no fruit. There's nothing that you're going to reap. Now you dead and gone. Your great grandkids are suffering because of stuff you did, because of things that you wouldn't address. Now I'm not going to go deep into it like I could because I'm trying to keep it separate. Tina, I'm glad you know. I'm trying to keep it separate, okay? But you all, this stuff runs deep. So let me reset the room. I'm almost done. If you're just joining us, I passed on so much stuff to my children, and here's an example right here on YouTube. Y'all see the comment. I wish I could pin it. I don't think I can pin. Can I pin comments on YouTube? I don't know how to do it. Oh, I can. Can I? You see the comment. You have to deal with it or you're going to pass it down. There is no way you can convince me that you love your kids, but you won't heal. You won't do the work to heal. You won't invest in your healing, but you love your kids and you really think that they don't pick up on what's going on. This whole I'm staying for the kids thing. Those kids know when something is off. Even babies pick up when things are off. I don't care. Listen, the more they grow, the more aware they become. They know something ain't right. And you say you love them, but you're really passing trauma down to them. Where are we at? Let me reset the room. If you're just coming in, welcome. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. Okay. I help high achieving women who look like they have it all together. I help them heal their trauma. It could have come from their families, past relationships, ministries. It doesn't matter. But I help them heal trauma so that they do not repeat cycles of burnout, cycles of broken relationships, cycles of silent suffering. You just being quiet because you don't want to express yourself. No. You're going to express yourself. You're going to express yourself today. Okay. So today we're unpacking the cost of carrying generational trauma. If you're just getting on, make sure you watch the replay on YouTube because I'm almost done. But baby, I need you to know what you refuse to heal, it's going to cost not only you, but everybody that's connected to you. Okay. Somebody said going through this now, I just found out I was dealing with trauma. My mom is dealing with it as well, and she doesn't know it. I'm slowly healing. Well, baby, congratulations to you. I'm glad you are healing. Okay. Congrats on your healing, and hopefully your mom, all you can do, I don't know if you're Christian, but I believe in prayer. All you can do is pray for her and ask that her eyes be open. But I'm glad that you're dealing with it so you can break it. You can break the curse. Okay. You love your mama, but you're not responsible for her. Your mama is a whole adult, so hopefully she'll come around. But shout out to you for dealing with it. Okay. I think that makes me think of another example of how y'all know I told y'all how some weeks ago family members going off on my phone because they found out about one video. They just going off threatening me and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, block first, block. But I'm like, I'm so glad I started the Surviving Toxic Mother series. It's not called that anymore. It's called the Mother Wound Recovery Suite now. But I'm like, I'm so glad I started it because in my mind, big ol' your mic went dead again. My bad. In my mind, I was never going to do anything or speak out about my abuse. I was like, oh, I'll write a book whenever she dies. And I'm not one that wishes, I don't wish death on nobody. Let me make that clear. But I'm glad that I did it. God told me to do it. And I'm glad I did because there was another level of freedom that I started walking into. So yeah, heal, baby, heal. That's my word of advice to you. Heal, baby, heal. Whoever doesn't like it, whoever gets offended, move them out of the way. They don't need access to you. All right. Let me finish up. I'm almost done. Okay. I need you to know healing isn't selfish. Write that down. Healing isn't selfish. Sometimes people will make you feel bad about healing. And you know why? It's because they benefit off of you being broken. They benefit off of the broken parts of you. They can control you, they can manipulate you, they can do all of the things when you're not healed. Okay? Don't feel bad about healing. Healing isn't selfish. It's actually legacy work. When you heal, you're not just breaking stuff for yourself, but you're breaking You're breaking things. You're breaking things off for those that are connected to you, those that are coming up, people that haven't even been born yet. You're shifting their inheritance, okay? They won't have to fight as hard. Galatians 3:13 and 14 talks about how Christ redeemed us from the curse. Healing is how we walk that out. You have got to heal. Just drop the word healed in the comments. Y'all keep leaning over like that because the big old phone is lower. I'm trying to see if I'm missing comments. Just drop the word heal, HEAL, in the comments. All right. So you have to make the decision. Make the decision today. Either you're going to stay in agreement with the trauma that was passed down to you, or you can choose, make a decision. You can choose to walk into the inheritance that was ordained for you, which includes peace, freedom, and security. Make a decision. That's all you have to do. It's not that deep. We overcomplicate things. I don't know why. You need to retrain your mind. It is not that deep. The hardest part of healing is starting. Once you make the decision to start, it's going to happen. Retrain your mind. Okay? This is why I created the Mother Wound Recovery Suite and also the Clarity Reset. Now we're going to start with the Clarity Reset. I call that the appetizer. All right. So both of these tools, they're going to help you name the pattern, break agreement with it, and rewire your inheritance. But I'm going to pull it up to let you know what happens in the reset. So y'all know how y'all go to a good restaurant. You don't just wait for your main course. You want an appetizer if it's a good restaurant with good appetizers. Run me that appetizer. It's a restaurant in Atlanta. Y'all know I used to live in Atlanta too. I know. Y'all, they have the best lamb chops. And I was thinking about those lamb chops today. Hey, Miss Pamela. I was thinking about those lamb chops today. And then I thought about the appetizer I got one time. It was a crab cake. Now, I'm not really into crab cakes because I feel like they're super salty, but I love crab. Baby, I was thinking about that crab cake today. So if you don't know where to start, if you're like, Renisha, I love your content. I know I need to work with you. I don't know where to start. The appetizer, the clarity reset, that's where you're going to start. Okay. So those of you that have been following me, you know, our challenge started Monday. I'm actually in the middle of I love lamb chops too, the clarity reset challenge. So today is day 4. Okay. You missed the challenge. However, I'm we'll see. I don't want to talk too fast. You missed this one, but just stick around. Stick around. I may do another one. I don't know. Just stick around. But you can grab this clarity detox. I mean the clarity reset. Sorry. Now, y'all, everybody needs it. If you don't have it, you need it. The only people that don't need it are the people that already have it. Period. Okay, so day 1, we talk about identifying the way. Every day, I'm going to give you a check-in. You're going to have check-in prompts. You're going to have clarity thoughts. You're going to have a reset practice, something that you have to actually do. You're going to have reflection prompts. And then I give you optional spiritual resets because I know everybody that follows me doesn't believe the same way I believe spiritually. So that part for you is optional. Day 2, we're going to release what is not yours. It was never yours to carry. And I'm going to help you see that you're carrying things you were never supposed to carry. Sis. Day 3 is all about detoxing emotionally. Everybody wants to do, I want to do a fast and detox. I want to do a foot detox. I want to go to the spa and detox. All of that is amazing. You need to detox emotionally as well. That's what I'm going to help you through on day 3. Day 4, that's the day that we're on right now, is about resetting your core. Day 4 is all about stillness. That's what day 4 is all about stillness. So I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to help reframe and reset your mind so that you understand you were never supposed to carry this. This is not your responsibility. You need to let that go so that you can flourish here. Don't do this, do that. That's what day 4. Sorry. Day 4 is all about being still. Go sit down somewhere. All right. Day 5 is addressing physical manifestations. You know, I did a live, I want to say last week, it might have been the week before that, about how trauma literally gets trapped in your body. If you think I'm lying, look it up. It's science. Science will tell you that. I want to try lamb chops. I want to try, listen, lamb chops and lamb shank. amazing. Amazing. Lamb shoulder too. I just like lamb. Okay. Day 5 is all about addressing physical manifestations. So I help you if you're dealing with anything physically. Honestly, some people have migraine headaches and it's really trauma. Some people have pains in different parts of their body. You on all types of medication, or you're going to the doctor and they can't find anything wrong. It's because it's trauma, it's stress. So that's what we address on day 5. Day 6 is all about rebuilding boundaries. I'm gonna just pause right here because I still don't understand why some of you don't set boundaries. You just let people walk all over you, drain the hell out of you, and I don't understand. You need to set a boundary. Find a boundary and stick to it. That's what I like to say. Find a boundary and stick to it. Let me get this link so I can drop it in YouTube. You need to find a boundary and stick to it. Some of you don't have boundaries in any area of your life. Some of you set boundaries with the wrong people. Well, I'm not going to say you said it with the wrong people, but basically you project. So the people that you need to set the boundaries with, you don't set it with them. But people that didn't do anything, anything to you, that really don't be bothering you, they don't be sweating you like that for real, you're extra hard on them because you're really afraid to set the boundary with the people who are crossing the line. Does that make sense? It's fear. So you're projecting. What's up, BW Israel? Tina, I'm glad you're learning. I'm trying to find the chat. Hold on so I can drop the link. Child. Big O, if you need it, you just have to honey, I can't even find the chat on here. Big O, you have to DM me for the link. As soon as I find it. Okay, so the chat is not coming up on my computer for me to drop it, but under this same video, if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description. The link directly to the clarity reset is in the description. So yeah, I don't know why it won't let me drop it. Okay, so rebuilding boundaries is day 6, and then day 7 is about living light and free. Okay, so it's a 7-day program. Like I said, if you don't have it, you need it, period. What's up, Breezy? Breezy said it makes all the sense. Listen, girl. Somebody said, I can't see how to say your name, baby. Is it Shabritney? Shabritney said, that's me setting boundaries with the wrong people. Yeah, some people do that. I'm going to need you to set the boundary with who the boundary needs to be. Don't be afraid. God hasn't given you the spirit of fear. Okay, so grab the clarity reset unless you already have it. Those are the only people I'm telling not to get it because you already have it. If you don't have this, you need it. And you can use it over and over again. My recommendation, save it to your desktop. When you get it, it's going to be an automatic download. You get it immediately. Save it on your desktop. That way, when you do the first 7 days, when you complete the program, you may go a few months, a few weeks. It just depends. You may go a year and not even need another reset. But when you need another reset, guess what you're going to do? It's right there on your desktop. You're going to pull it up. I promise you. I created this. We're in the midst of a challenge right now. This week, I was going through the reset, crying while doing the prompts, getting free off of my own product. Okay? Get it. That's the appetizer you need. No excuse. No excuse. Now let me pull up the Mother Wound Recovery Suite. This is the other, being that I'm talking about generational trauma today. Let me tell you what you get in that one. So I think I started this series in March. So March and April. I called it Surviving Toxic Mothers then, but then I upgraded the name. And now I'm calling it the Mother Wound Recovery Suite because we're not just survivors over here. Okay, we're thriving. Let me pull it up. There you go. So with this, the Mother Wound Recovery Suite, for those of you that need this is your main course. So the Clarity Reset, that's your appetizer. The Mother Wound Recovery Suite, if you know that your generational trauma came through your mother, you need this, period. Now, it's possible it came another way, and you may need another product. Fine. You can find my link on my YouTube page at the top, the Healing Suite. For those of you that grab the Mother Wound Recovery Suite, it's 4 classes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a problem with going to meetings. Yeah, you can go there if you need to go. What do you mean you have a problem with it? If you need to go and that's helping you, go to the meeting, honey. I remember when we were in college, my psychology class made us go to random meetings like that. And we couldn't tell them, was it psychology or sociology? We couldn't, of course, we could say we were students, but we had to go to different ones. I went to an SA one, a AA, and maybe an NA. But what do you mean you have a problem with going to the meetings? I don't understand. Can you clarify while I explain this? So those of you that need the Mother Wound Recovery Suite, it's 4 classes. Number 1, class 1 is understanding the pain. This is where you're going to I'm going to identify deep wounds and emotional patterns that began in your childhood. With class 1, when you finish class 1, right now, this is not going to be permanent. Okay? When you finish class 1, after you complete your assignment, you're going to send me a DM. When you purchase this, the website automatically gives you access to DM me. You're going to DM me and say, hey, Renisha, when can I schedule my free call with you? You get a free 15-minute session where I go through the assignment with you. Now, I don't know people. I don't know if anybody, I don't know anyone who sells digital products and then says, I'm so serious about your healing that I'm going to sit with you for free and help you with this assignment. Some people would be like, no, you missed the live class, so you don't get the additional help. Okay, again, this is temporary, so you better grab it while you can. That's class 1. Class 2, breaking the guilt and setting boundaries. So I'm going to teach you how to set boundaries, even with your mother. You're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to be afraid. I'm going to teach you how to even detach emotionally. That's class 2. Class 3, we're talking about healing the inner child and generational cycles, right? Breaking bloodline patterns and how to begin healing your inner child. With class 3, you have another free for now. This is not going to be permanent. And the reason why I keep saying this is because I don't want you to procrastinate, get this later, and then come on my social media calling me a liar because you don't see where the free sessions are included anymore. I am not a liar. I told you it was temporary. Your procrastination has nothing to do with me. Okay? Great. So with class 3, you get another free 15-minute session. Finish class 3, complete your assignment, send me a DM. Hey, Renisha, can I schedule my next free session, 15-minute session, so we can go over the assignment again? I don't know people that do this for a class because they're that serious about your healing. If you don't know when greatness is standing in front of you or sitting in front of you, honey, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all better grab it. And then class 4, reclaiming your identity and freedom, okay? So I'm going to teach you how to step outside your mother's control and rewrite your self-worth. Does anybody have questions about the appetizer, which is the clarity reset, or the main course, which is the Mother Wound Recovery Suite? And if you're someone who you're like, okay, I need the appetizer, but my trauma didn't come from my mom, you can send me a message so we can figure out what's the best next step for you. Any questions? Because we're done. What's up, Candace? I am done. Oh, no, I have affirmations for you. Let me give you these affirmations while you all type questions if you have it. Oh, okay. I get it, Tina. So that's one. So I do disagree with that. That's something I've talked about, maybe not on social media, but I do absolutely disagree with the fact that you have to stand up and continue to call yourself an addict. I believe that's like speaking a curse over yourself. So I get that. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Never did. Never did. So you may need to see if you can find, I have coaching packages. If you need a coach to help you through that, maybe if you're a member of a church, you can see if your church hosts groups like that, or maybe some type of faith-based groups that help addicts in your area. Maybe try Googling that. But I have never agreed with the fact that they have to continue to call themselves addicts. I don't agree with that. All right. Let me give you these affirmations. If you're just tuning in, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women, high women. Lord have mercy. High achieving women who look like they have it all together, but on the inside they're crumbling. They're carrying family trauma. They're carrying all this luggage and they really want to be free. Okay. So today we talked about breaking generational cycles and healing patterns that runs in your family. Once again, healing is not selfish, it's stewardship. When you heal the ones coming after you as well. Let me give you these affirmations and then I am out of here because I don't see any questions. All right, so repeat after me. You already know I have affirmations. Why? Because the power of life and death lies in your tongue. Repeat after me. I will not carry what doesn't belong to me. The cycle ends with me. My family's pain is not my prison. Healing is my inheritance. I choose freedom for myself and those after me. What's up, Pursue Holiness? So thank you so much, Big O. Thank you for tapping or whatever y'all did on Big O. I still don't know Big O, but thank you, all of y'all that's on Big O. Okay, YouTube, thank you so much. Y'all did amazing today with my likes and the engagement. Oh, clock it. Y'all click the like button and everything, and y'all talk to me. I believe when I begin to heal that it won't bother me. I now have a year. Well, baby, what do you need to start healing? Do you have my clarity reset yet? You need the clarity reset. I don't know where your trauma came from. If it wasn't anything attached to your mother, I would recommend the clarity reset and then one of my coaching programs. If it came from a church, I have, I have a program for that too. Those that were a class, it's almost 4 hours long, wolves and collars. Yeah, yes, ma'am. You need to get that. All right. So for those of you that need the clarity reset, grab that and make sure you save it on your desktop. Like I said, it's not a one-time thing. Whenever you need a reset, whenever you find yourself carrying too much, pull up that clarity reset and go back through it. If you need the Mother Wound Recovery Suite, the link is in the description of this video. Go ahead and grab it. My trauma came from my mom. I most definitely need the clarity. Baby girl, grab the clarity reset. And then when you need the clarity reset and the Mother Wound Recovery Suite. But yes, start off with the clarity reset. That's your appetizer. Tina said from my mother and okay. So Tina, I don't want to give all of these CTAs. I don't like giving all these call to actions in one video because then it confuses people and they don't know where to start. Okay. Thank you so much, Candace, because I'm like, I don't want people to be confused. Okay. So I'm talking to Tina right now. Tina, I'm talking to you based on what you just said. Based on what you just said, have you ever been through deliverance, Tina? Do you know what deliverance even is? Do you even know what that is? So for you, I would start off with the clarity reset. That's where everybody needs that if they don't have it, period. Unless they have the older version. You've never been through deliverance or you don't know what that is. Because if you dealt with SA and trauma, you definitely need deliverance. Now, I don't know which route you want to take first. You may want to get the clarity reset and get the Mother Wound Recovery Suites first. Then you may want to go through deliverance. I don't know. It's up to you. Start with the clarity reset though. For deliverance ministry with me, it's 2 parts. Part 1 is your deliverance consultation. You go to my website and book it. The link is on my YouTube page. You'll see where it says Healing Suite. You just click the pin site page and it's going to show everything that I have. Okay. Deliverance consultation. You have to fill out this form. I ask a bunch of questions, but I'm very thorough when it comes to deliverance. After that, you meet with me on video. We go through your form. After that, you will book whenever you're ready. You book the full deliverance session. There are steps in between. I do not do both at the same time because there are steps in between. Okay, I have a reason for that. Also, my deliverance session, so the consultation, I think is up to, I don't know if it's 45 minutes or an hour. I don't know. Might be an hour. I can't remember. But normally it takes around 45 minutes unless a person just has a bunch of stuff going on as far as the consultation. As far as the full session, I don't go over 4 hours anymore. I've learned that my cap is 4 hours. I used to go over. When I was booked up for that whole year doing deliverance ministry, I would just go and no, I don't do that anymore. I've done up to like 6 hours. For me, my capacity, my cap is 4 hours. After 4 hours, you have to get another session. Now, the good thing is after you go through a consultation and a deliverance session with me, after that, you get discounted rates. So if you're someone who wants to maintain deliverance, you get discounted rates as long as you come back within, I don't know if it's 6 months or a year. I don't know. I have to look, but I cap it as 4 hours. So the full session, I'm not going over 4 hours just because I'm not going to kill myself. Well, I'm not going to kill myself anyway, but deliverance is very taxing on the body. All right. So absolutely, Candace. Tina said, I need it all. Well, honey, you have to figure out where you want to start. The best place to start is a clarity reset. Okay, you can just go to my website, Tina, and look at everything. But the clarity reset, that's the first thing you want to start with. Okay, now let me bring it back in. Oh yeah, you have to do the work. That's why whenever I have a consultation with people, I know if you don't want to do the work. If you don't want to do the work, I'm gonna tell you I can't do your deliverance session. Like, let me bring it back in and give the CTAs again because I don't want people to be confused. So if you're just joining, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look like they have it all together, but they're battling. They have all these personal battles that they're dealing with on the inside, and they feel like they can't tell anybody because they're the strong one. They're the boss. They're the one, they have it all together. They have the house, the car, the man, the money. They got all of that. So how dare they admit that they're flawed or that they're dealing with trauma? But we talked the other day about how trauma doesn't care how much money you have. Trauma doesn't care about your influence, okay? So I just want to bring it back in. Today, we talked about breaking generational trauma and healing patterns that run in your family, okay? If you're just getting on, I'm done. You can go back and catch the replay. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you grab your appetizer. The clarity reset is your appetizer. Everything else that I have in my product suite, those are main course meals, okay? That's the main course. The perfect place to start is with the clarity reset. All right. Some of you are missing out on the challenge we're doing this week because you like to procrastinate. We're meeting in at 6:30. I had to push it to 6:30 because I have another class at 7. But at 6:30, we're meeting just for a check-in for the challenge. But grab the clarity reset. If you know you have mother wounds and that's where some of your trauma came in from, that is your main course for today. Grab the mother wound recovery suite. Watch the replay so you'll hear the breakdown of all of that. I'm not breaking everything down again because I already did, okay? Remember, don't keep rehearsing what your family couldn't heal. You can break the cycle. You can break the cycle and you can do it now, and then you can create a new inheritance for those after you. Let me pull up and see what we're talking about tomorrow. I'm going to try to do 2 lives tomorrow since I missed one yesterday. And I was going through my notes from yesterday because I was just going to delete it all together. And I was like, it has stuff in here that I haven't talked about yet. And I'm like, this is really needed. So I'm going to see if I can do 2 lives tomorrow. So tomorrow, if I can do 2, we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you some signs that trauma is blocking your success and how to heal that. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about what happens when you just ignore trauma and why your healing can't wait. So we're going to be talking about the cost of ignoring trauma. Make sure you are following me. Make sure you turn your notifications on, even though YouTube does not like to send out notifications. Just turn it on anyway. Share this with someone who you know needs it. Thank y'all so much. Y'all were lit today. Big O, please, y'all just be sitting here. It's 69 of y'all, and y'all just be sitting. Big O, I'm going to end YouTube, and then I'm going to come talk to Big O. YouTube, send this to someone that you know that needs it, and make sure you grab your clarity reset, okay? Love y'all. Follow me. See y'all tomorrow. Period. All period. How does that thing go?